well, this is going to be a good one. As I do say so myself. We're going to clean up the subconscious, and we're going to move into the realm of forgiveness, which is where all the good stuff happens. There is this quote from Yogi Bhajan, and it's this. It's, when something goes wrong, you say, thank God there's nothing wrong with me. When something goes wrong, thank God there's nothing wrong with me. And so, it speaks to that undercurrent, like, when I get a ticket or I get sick or somebody leaves me, there's something wrong with me. And what we need to know is things will go wrong. And there's nothing wrong with us. That's where we lose so much energy. It's like taking a third of the gas out of your tank. Every time and now we have this new age, like weird, it's kind of still Christian Judaic, and it's so undermining, right? The whole, when something goes, why am I attracting this? Like Guru Jagat talks about this gal that broke her mala beads. And these are they're beautiful, but they're really powerful, and they have this meditative energy in them. So it broke. They are kind of fragile. And she goes to Guru Jagat and she said, should I restring them? And, you can hear it. Just in that question, did I screw up? Maybe I'm not allowed to have beads. Maybe it's bad karma. Maybe, I don't know. Right? So we thought we were getting rid of all the guilt and shame with the Christian stuff, but it just became New Age. That's how we are. We will just find a way to still feel bad about the shit we do. It's bizarro. So this, to me, connects with this week, right? This week is, 2,000 years ago, that man, Jesus, was in an initiation. Make no mistake, it was on. And a lot of things went wrong that week. All of his friends turned on him. And then when they had to make a choice, who should we kill? The thief and robber or Jesus? The thief and robber seems like a good idea. I mean, can you imagine how you'd feel? You would definitely think, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. Why is this happening? Right? And because he was such an awesome human being, and he's awesome because of his meditation, because of his yoga, because of his greatness. I mean, that's why he could heal people. That's why he could love. But he's a man just like all of us. And if he wants to have that God self, he had to know unequivocally, there is nothing wrong with me. So then, he gets on the cross and they're torturing him. And so what does he say? Father, they know not what they do. Forgive them. I don't know about you, but I'd be feeling really sorry for myself by then. And I'd be like, fuck these people, I'd be just pissed off, But that's why I do Kundalini, so we don't have to do that kind of behavior. Anyway, that was it. That's when he became the Christ. That was it. Because he knew there's nothing wrong with him. And you know what that came from? Ekankar. One creator creation. He knew he was one with his Father. And we sort of undermine his lessons and blessings because he said all the time, we can do what he can do. He said all the time, the kingdom of God is within you. He's saying that God's within you. He's saying it, and yet there's just this predisposition, and he had it too. He had to get over that. The predisposition to think, something's wrong with me. That's the crux of everything in your life. Something's wrong with me. So that's what the challenge is in our lives. To right away, when something goes wrong, thank God there's nothing wrong with me. Because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to cut people off on the freeway. You're going to yell at your kids. You're going to do this. You're a householder. It's part of the deal. And you have to do the cleanup, yep. But you need to know in everything you do, ultimately, there's nothing wrong with you. And that's why we do these kind of kriyas, right? Because they get in there and they start moving the energy. Because we can't, just psychologically do it. We all have affirmed our butts off, and you're still as crazy as you ever were. That doesn't actually, that helps. It helps, along with a really heavy-duty meditative practice. Some Kundalini every single day, like taking a vitamin. I'm going to take my Kundalini. You wouldn't get up and not have coffee, no, or whatever it is that you're habitual about. So I've tried to get myself to be habitual about taking my Kundalini. And I know, hands down, there is no way I would have the blessings in my life and the energy. I have so much energy to do the things. I never worked this hard at State Fund. It's true what they say about state employees. There is a little neurosis there, and we know we can get away with anything, and we do it. Anyway, but I was a good girl, mostly. Yeah, pretty much. But I never worked like I do now. And part of it is I'm doing what my soul wants me to do, which is beyond even the marketing at the soul and teaching Kundalini. It's like the stuff at home, like this morning, listening to Yogi Bhajan, he said this morning, he says, it's very difficult to live with me. More difficult to live without me. And then he goes on to say, because I'm very charming. And people love me. He says, and then the last thing he says, but I'm your teacher. And so I'm going to discipline you. So he's such a card. So we're going to move into that energy. And so what will make it more than an affirmation is that you use it when you're in the heat of thinking something's wrong. You want to use it energetically, not just like say it 10 times every day. No, do it when it hits the fan. That's when you're really, because there's energy there, right? That's when it really means something. That's when it's not just a mental gyration. It's like, thank God, there's nothing wrong with me. Okay? We're going to have fun. While we do all this, we're going to listen to Mirabai. And I love them. They're a beautiful couple. And they're going to come to the soul. Instead of my Wednesday class on April 15, they're going to be here. And they're a Kundalini band, and they're just juicy. You'll see. They're just so beautiful. They're going to be at Satnam Fest on Friday night, and I talked them into before they leave. Come by the soul. What do you think? Okay, so let's tune in. Rub your hands together and take some deep breaths. Big sigh out.